What up, it's your girl Yolanda the Great with the Great Spills the Tea. Diamond Gang, we have a major update in the case involving the woman accused of firing an AR-style rifle at Rihanna's home while she was inside with A$AP Rocky and their 3 children. A new report just came out and prosecutors have now broken down all 14 charges she's facing. I'm going to play the full update so you can hear everything directly.
A woman is now in custody and she's being held on a $10 million bond.
Eyewitness News reporter Carlos Grande is live outside the singer's home in Beverly Glen with the very latest. Carlos?
Well, we now know the name of the suspect who allegedly shot into Rihanna's home. She is identified as 35-year-old Ivana Lisette Ortiz from Florida. And we also know Rihanna was at home when the gunfire started.
West unit shooting just occurred. 10 gunshots fired from the vehicle. EPR believes the shots came from across the street of the upper gate. The PR does not have visual. No further. Additional 1921.
There you heard the police call saying the gunfire came from a car across the street. And today you can see the bullet holes on the gate that have been taped over. Police say there were multiple shots fired into the home, and we're told Rihanna was here, but nobody was hurt. Several rounds hit the outside of the home as well as a vehicle parked out front. Sources say the weapon allegedly used was an AR-style gun. At least 2 other homes on the block also had bullet holes. Now, in the audio, police are also heard saying the suspect's Tesla was followed by an LAPD helicopter into a mall parking garage in Sherman Oaks, where she was pulled over and arrested by patrol units. Now, Rihanna has 3 children with her partner, rapper A$AP Rocky. It's unclear if he and the children were home at the time of the shooting. Investigators are even trying to determine the motive and whether the suspect even knew that Rihanna lived here. Now, as you said, the suspect is now booked for attempted murder. Bail has been set at more than $10 million. Reporting live from Beverly Glen, I'm Carlos Grande, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Diamond Gang, now here's the full breakdown from prosecutors, all 14 charges, what they mean, and how they're building this case.
Today I'm here to announce the charges that have been filed against Ivana Lisette Ortiz, a 35-year-old woman from Orlando, Florida, in connection with the case in which she has now been arraigned. And by the way, that arraignment date has now been continued to March 25th. The charges that have been filed against Ms. Ortiz include 1 count of attempted murder, 10 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and 3 felony counts of shooting at an inhabited dwelling or camper. Any charges that have been filed, as I've said very often, are just that. They are not the evidence that we are presenting in court. That evidence will be presented in court at the appropriate time, at which point we intend to convict Ms. Ortiz of all the charges which have been leveled at this point beyond a reasonable doubt to either a judge or a jury. But summarizing the allegations that exist so far, on March 8th at approximately 1:20 p.m., Ms. Ortiz is accused of driving up to the residence of Rihanna, at which point she fires from her semi-automatic weapon multiple times at the residence. In that residence, Rihanna was there with her partner, her 3 children, her mother, and 2 staff people, representing 8 of the 10 of the counts of dealing with an assault with a semi-automatic firearm. In addition, Ms. Ortiz is accused of firing at a neighboring residence that had 2 additional individuals. That is why there are 10 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. And there are 3 felony counts of shooting at inhabited dwellings. There are actually 2 dwellings at Rihanna's residence. There's a Airstream camper in which 2 individuals were located, as well as a house on that property, and then there was the neighboring property. That is why there are 3 felony counts of shooting at an inhabited dwelling or camper. What happened after Ms. Ortiz shot at these various residences and people is that she then traveled through Beverly Hills, eventually ending up in Sherman Oaks. And then at that point, within hours, she was arrested. I very much want to appreciate and publicly thank both the Los Angeles Police Department and the Beverly Hills Police Department for their very quick, timely, and prompt actions leading to the arrest of Ms. Ortiz on these charges. Ms. Ortiz, if and when convicted of these charges, is facing up to life in state prison. Her bail has been set by the court at $1,875,000. And part of the reason I wanted to convey this message is as follows. I want everyone to understand in this county that you should absolutely feel safe in your residence and in your neighborhood and in your community. That safety is something we will work incredibly hard to protect. And when an individual comes into our community and decides to shoot it up, that individual will be arrested and held fully accountable for her actions. In this case, and in all cases in which it affects similar situations throughout our county. Again, the message is very simple and very clear. Come into this county from Florida, come into this county from anywhere in this county, and we will arrest you, we will prosecute you, and we will punish you if you want to engage in shooting at inhabited dwellings, at people, or in any similar circumstance.
All right, Diamond Gang. Now we're at the part where reporters start asking the prosecutor questions. And they ask some pretty good questions. I'm going to let this play so you can hear their answers directly.
I'll now take some questions. That is under investigation. The two people that were inside the Airstream were Rihanna and her partner, Rakeem Mayers. The actual locations of each bullet is still under investigation. I'm not added security for the Oscars itself. I'm not able to comment one way or the other. LA-based celebrities should not be any additionally worried because of this, in large part because of the response of the police. The incredibly timely, prompt response of the police on this sends that message to any person that is even thinking of using a gun in this community, that they face arrest, prosecution, and punishment for those type of actions.
Can you give the details of the protective order?
So the details of the protective order is a stay-away protective order dealing with Rihanna, Rakeem Mayers, the neighbors, the property, and any work addresses or any type of contact between this defendant, Ms. Ortiz, and these various individuals. I'm sorry, say one more time. So the motivation for Ms. Ortiz is under full investigation. Law enforcement will be looking at any videos on social media and any additional evidence that they can uncover to both understand her motivation and why she did these particular acts.
We got time for one or two more.
I'm sorry? The evidence that the law enforcement is in the process of gathering all evidence of motivation, any connections between the defendant and Rihanna, if any so exists, or why this particular defendant decided to open up and shoot her semi-automatic rifle on the afternoon of March 8th.
Any idea why that second?
Do you have any fears or concerns that she was planning another shooting somewhere else that she had those 30 rounds of ammo,
There's no additional evidence that she's planning to shoot anyone else, but that is under investigation as well.
All right, folks, thank you. California.
Yes, thank you very much.
So, Diamond Gang, that was the full breakdown. The 14 charges, the prosecutor's explanation, and the questions from the reporters at the end. You also heard them mention that the protective order is now in place, which means certain information in this case can't be released publicly right now. With that protective order in effect, things just got even more restricted. Diamond Gang, I'm watching this closely. I want to know. Tell me your thoughts on everything we've heard today. Please drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on my next video.